ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? Hope you're doing great. My name is Yuri, also known as Starlord, and this is the continuation of a playthrough of a game called Darkest Dungeon. On the previous stream we had managed to close out Crimson Court DLC, beating every single boss there in the campaign of the Crimson Court. And we went on to the second DLC. We've managed to complete one task there, and our next task there will be to kill Miller. Now, hopefully this second DLC is going to go a bit faster than the Crimson Court, which means there will be no time walls, hopefully. But regardless whether there be or there won't be any time walls, we will still going to do the stuff like we usually do. Currently we are curing our characters that will be going into the Miller quest. And while we are curing that, we'll need like 1 or 2 more turns to pass. And because of that, we will just simply gonna go and find ourselves a place to spend that time. Good places to spend that time would actually be... I mean, we could go into medium apprentice ruins. But in order for us to do that, we will need to bring ourselves here a 4th character. I'm gonna go with... let me see. I can go with either Flagellant, not the Flagellant, but Abomination, or Man-at-Arms. Looking at how many Abominations I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 and only 1 Man-at-Arms. I'd prefer to go with Man-at-Arms. However, Abomination is also good. But regardless of whether or not I will decide to go with Abomination or the Man-at-Arms, I would have to free 1 spot here. Let's get rid of a Plague Doctor.
Another soul battered and broken.
And grab ourselves judging by the negative quirks and positive ones, actually, those will be a front line. This is a healer, and I need a character for either 4th place or 3rd place. Let me grab myself you.
Tortured and reclusive. This man is more dangerous than he seems.
Quickly leveling up some weapons and armor for my healer. In terms of camping skills, they have good stuff. Yeah, they have good stuff, so everything is pretty much set up. Like I said, I am going to be going for more just time spending in order to get rid of negative quirks from those who I will be bringing into this dungeon. The reason why I put Crusader here is I'm going to give him a speed trinket as well as a damage against Unholy. And for damaging crit against Unholy. For Leper also damage against Unholy, because if you remember what I said, I made a video about this, like, strengths and weaknesses in apprentice level ruins in Coves, and there I said that Blight as well as raw damage and damage against Unholy is the core stuff that you would like to bring in order to decimate your enemies there as fast as possible with few problems, or pretty much no problems at all. And because of that, I just kinda advise you to utilize that mechanic. It's a good stuff. Does allow you to perform better when you know weaknesses of your opponents. Thus you'll be able to fully utilize them to your advantage. Yep. So this is going to be it. Here I'm going to bring myself a Holy Lance and an AoE attack, just for the sake of fast clearing, should I run into problems. With this particular squadron, since I am so over-leveled a bit for apprentice level dungeons, I am going to be utilizing strategy to just decimate everything that I see. This strategy is primarily just a fast-paced clearing of the dungeon. If you are not comfortable with that playstyle, especially at the early game, where you would like to actually try to, especially if you are playing the game for the first time and you want to plan each and every single move, be my guest. I utilize the strategy because I already have spent it, well, by this point of time I already spent it like more than 800 hours playing this game. And I'm still going. The playthrough isn't over yet.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Thus, I have pretty good understanding of what enemies do, how they do it, and what should I do in order to prevent them from beating me up, so to speak.
Annihilated.
For the most part, also another reason why I am able to rush through Apprentice Dungeon, even through some veteran ones, is due to the fact that heroes are leveled up, and my heroes are leveled up, and my
This is how a life is taken.
knowledge of how mechanics work allow me to do so. Okay, so in medium dungeon, exploring 90% of the rooms means, I believe, either 2 or 3 rooms can be unchecked. I don't want to touch bookshelves and book piles, scroll piles, because for the most part they tend to just bring I mean, give you not the stuff that you would want. The chance of getting negative from them is much more than positive, and I just tend to skip them.
Be gone, fiend. The slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving.
If you have some questions regarding apprentice level dungeons, be free to ask.
The way is lit. The path
I will
is
try
clear.
to give you my
Only the strength to follow it.
kind of overview of what you should be doing, what you shouldn't do, and all that stuff.
In Radiance, may we find victory. The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
And just like I said in the beginning, I gave Crusader a Holy Lance as well as a trinket that gives him a good burst of speed for the first round, so that he will go faster than Abomination and preferably one-shot somebody from backline with his Holy Lance ability.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
And this whole Lance ability also does more damage against unholy type of enemies, so it's even better to have in this particular dungeon.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
I brought way too much food, so I'm just gonna use some and throw the other food away. My idea is to go to the right. There are a couple of battles, but here I'm actually kind of going to participate in a lot of those battles to show you like several encounters, so that you will have a better understanding of how and why I do certain stuff and how does it work out against certain team compositions. But once again, as you see, I even now, when my characters are with good trinkets and with all that good stuff, I just tend to still keep going first for the backline, for the stress dealers. By getting rid of them, this opens up a great opportunity for me to...
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
to basically make my life easier. Also, the thing about those spiders, don't let them fool you. Those spiders do hit quite hard if they crit you. Should they crit you, you will receive some massive amounts of damage. Let's also use here a campfire, just for the sake of freeing up inventory space.
Huddled together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze.
No. Accuracy... let's give it to Leper, since Leper tends to miss a lot. One key I am going to leave for
Staunch the flow of
possible secret room.
worldly corruption.
In terms of what are we looking for? Are we looking for gold, or are we looking for some resources? And the answer is I'm not kind of looking towards any of that for the most part right now, because I have built it and upgraded pretty much all the stuff that I needed. The rest is just for the completionist sort of thing. And when it comes to should I be looking for
Obliterated.
something else? Well, not really. The things that I am looking at are the portraits and what also portraits and crests. I need to, I believe 4 upgrades more I need for the tavern, and then everything is pretty much maxed out.
Exposed to a killing blow. Eradicated.
I usually don't tend to use Leper's ability, AoE ability, since I don't really go for AoE attacks.
As the fiend
But here, since I have good trinkets, I mean, why not? Yeah, so we'll do like 2 runs in order for us to get rid of negative quirks from those characters that I plan to take into our second stage of second DLC. Also, I forgot to mention that previous stream we had taken down Thing from the Sky, which is a roaming boss of the second DLC, as far as I understood, if I understood it correctly. And when it comes to buildings that are left to be built, one is for, I believe, just sort of a completionist, and the other one is, the other buildings are, I can
masterfully executed.
build them only if I'll be able to.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Like, they are built it with the resource that you gather from the DLC dungeon, or from killing Thing from the Sky,
Their formation is broken. Maintain
or Thing from the Star. I don't remember how it was named.
Wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Either way, we have taken it down, and we have taken it down on the champion level dungeon, which is the red one. No secret rooms, but whatever.
Corridors and sloped walls of our ancestry are beginning to feel familiar.
Unfortunately, we got a lot of those diseases.
I see something long absent in the sunken faces of passers-by. A glimmer of hope.
Actually, I'll throw away this Crusader and I am going to pick another one without those things, because I don't want to waste time on curing him. And this one has
broken, cast aside like a spent torch.
Good things like Manslayer and Unholy Hater. Those things are not that bad. By the way, this is sort of the thing. When you have level 0s, you can utilize the same strategy. If the character that you have right now is having a lot of those negative stuff on him, well, you can change him and use someone else in his place. Be my guest and do it. It's totally okay. Okay, and I want... Where's my level 3 leper? This thing will go away and... And those stuff are not really that mandatory. Yeah. And while they are healing, we'll go into another one of those dungeons. The thing here, we have short and long warrants. Warrens, beasts, humans, yep. So, in that case, Crusader will still get his thing, this one, but instead of giving him damage against undead, I am going to give him damage, just the raw damage one. Since we are not going to be fighting undead there, so might as well give him that thing instead. Once again, it's not the perfect one. Actually, I'm gonna give him Beast Slayer. Whatever. And those things are, well, except for this one. Instead of that, I'm going to give you crit. Yes. Now let's go here. Our purpose is to just spend time, so we might as well try something that we haven't tried out. It may not work as we think it will, but I'm not that concerned about Apprentice dungeons. Especially with the fact that I can pretty much powerhouse through those dungeons.
The light, the promise of safety.
And also it'd be a good idea for me to just show you how the Apprentice how the apprentice warrants. I believe it's warrants. How the apprentice warrants work. What kind of enemies should you focus here? Blight here is bad. The reason I brought here Blight, well, you probably know it. Also, I don't really bring skills that clear corpses.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Maybe I should. Then again, maybe not.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Eradicated.
There is a chance that you might encounter humans here.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely...
Those chances are random, like encounters. Like spiders can appear pretty much everywhere. Humans also.
One falls. Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
And since we have on our Crusader damage against humans and crit against humans, it's not a problem. Oh, I forgot to grab that item. Let's go and grab it. I don't remember what to use here. Probably nothing. And I got a decent perk.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Also, a bit of a reminder for those of you who may not know it, but when you get to the DLC, which is Crimson Court, you can see that there are such perks like that were really good, like Slayer and like Unholy Slayer or Explorer. They become kinda useless, unfortunately, because you will be fighting, for the most part,
A decisive pummeling.
you'll be fighting enemies that are bloodsuckers. And as you saw in the second DLC, we went there like once, and besides the new race that they've put there, they've also placed an sort of double races.
Press this advantage. Give them no
Like you have something new with plus human or with beast.
foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
And that's actually really good, because this way you are capable of utilizing those perks like Manslayer, Unholy Slayer, and that stuff. Whereas in Crimson Court, those perks were kind of useless when you dived into those dungeons.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
That's why for some characters I've been locking. Daredevil perk. Daredevil just in general is kind of good when you look at it from the perspective that you can... Your dodge chance increase, thus when your HP falls down, thus you'll be able to dodge attack that have a chance to dodge an attack that could have possibly killed you or damaged you.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Thus your character will be able to survive longer, and sometimes your survival from that thing depends
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
whether or not you will win a battle.
Annihilated.
That's why I go for it first. Mainly due to the fact that it spreads diseases. I would also like to leave one of those enemies to stress heal my Crusader a little bit. So, if possible, I want to try and do that. The enemy that I am going to leave is... But then I cannot... whatever.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
Yeah, they debuff and stress you out.
Soothed. Sedated.
Whatever.
This expedition at least promises success.
As you can see, pretty fast expeditions
Seem a little less impossible.
that are done with a sole purpose of just getting rid of negative quirks from
Woe to the sheep.
those who I want to
Does the
use.
shepherd not invite the wolves?
I don't need another highwayman, especially with 4 negative quirks. Yeah, sure. Definitely don't want you. Let's see. Those who I will be using. I actually have a level jester, which means I can utilize him. Ooh, that's even better. Well, now we will be going towards the DLC, finally. As you can see, despite the fact that I am throwing so many people in those treatment facilities, I have a lot of money to work with. When you start the game, pretty much for a good portion of your playthrough, you'll be running into problems of not having money and resources. This will go away eventually, so don't worry yourself too much about that. It's not the end of the world. So we've placed 6 people into treatment facilities. Now it's time for us to prepare a squad to go for Miller. Okay. I'll be using Jester, I'll be using Vestal, Flagellant, as well as Leper. For the most part, I tend to find this squad to be working, even there. It does work and it does do its job perfectly fine. The only thing that I am thinking about, should I go for the finale setup or should I ignore it and just go for this thing? I think going for this thing is actually kind of better, because here's the thing, you'll be the game thrown at us new mechanic there that you'll be fighting waves after waves of enemies. Thus, the battle doesn't reset though, which means that you are fighting enemies and your skills that require you to... how should I say it? If they have like limited uses per battle, they will not going to get restored, and that makes the situation kinda weird for using those limited usage skills. Okay. I'm gonna give you this, and for Flagellant. Also, hello broski Yuri, everything is going fine. We are preparing our squadron for Miller's quest. Finally. It's about time, so to speak. It's about time for us to go and fight against Miller. We got rid of negative quirks, so it's actually going to be really good to go against Miller. This just gives me not that much. I want this thing instead. Okay, so draw this. Yeah. The thing that we should check, yes, we need to level up skills. Gonna spend that money. As well as weapons and armors. And now we are fully ready to go. Ready to go to fight Miller. It's a medium dungeon. Let's see. Okay, so they give us food. Last time they didn't give us food? Let's just grab like something like this. They don't give us torches, which empties inventory quite a bit. So think shard dust used to tap into otherworldly power, but beware its other effects. I don't want to tap into anything. Yeah, this should be enough.
Slabs etched with certain celestial designs were erected around the perimeter of the farmstead. The miller, lamentably eager for some early sign of improvement, fixed his watery eyes intently upon the wilted fields and listless mill. My gaze, however, was cast skyward, and I marveled at the limitless profanity of the stars, wondering what harvest might come.
A little bit of a backstory here. You do remember that our narrator has decided to help Miller because there was some kind of a infestation going on in the farm. And so the Miller came to the narrator asking for help. The narrator gave him help there. Okay, so here's the new thing, which shows us those yellow... I believe it's like yellow thresholds. We have 3 of them. My guess is that there will be like 3 gauntlets. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. Maybe checkpoints, maybe. But then again, they didn't give us any campfires. I also this little passage here is so unusual. Oh, and it's the same setup that we fought. Like, first setup that we fought before. Yeah, they are still vulnerable to bleed. That's good. And still kinda low stun chance. One thing that I start to kind of understand is the fact that here, trying to go for the maximum amount of buffs. Also, this thing, get rid of it. It heals you a little bit, but if you don't kill it, it spreads a stress over time on your characters.
Decimated.
Bleed and mark. My stun chance is 130, and that would be good to try and stun this horse. Yeah, it was actually a decent idea.
A powerful blow.
Horse has a self-stealth attack.
Their formation is
I mean,
broken.
it's self-stealth skill. I'm going to put a third buff here. And And with the healer, I would like to heal my Jester. He's bleeding a bit. It's still kinda early for us to go for stress heals. Oh, that's a new attack. Stun with bleed.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
It doesn't do a lot of damage, but this bleed sure lasts long. And now we have to get rid of those seeds that has spawned. Let's not do that with Jester, let's do that with our frontliners.
Be gone, fiend. Another one falls.
Okay, with this skill, it stealths himself. Oh, another wave.
The ground quakes. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. Masterfully executed.
Well, they aren't doing that much damage. But they sure have a good chance to hit. Despite the fact that my Jester has good dodge chance, they hit him. I'm taking this fight slowly. There is no reason for me to rush it.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Well, that attack is not good at all. Nah. Especially if he'll decide to miss. Okay, I have my buffs running, so I might as well use an attack there. I will. Hello. Hello and welcome. As in terms of those rewards, I will be, like for following and stuff, I will be utilizing, not utilizing, but I will follow you. Like either when I'm going to have... Yeah, it's okay. I'll do that either when we're going to have a sort of intermission during the stream or after the stream.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Slowly but surely we are accumulating stress here.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
This is not a huge problem, but let's heal your stress. Yeah, as I see the damage from those enemies here, it's not that big, it's just that it's going to hit you consistently.
A devastating blow.
But yeah, without stress healers, I don't think that this dungeon is actually that manageable. Yeah, streaming games and playing them for fun is actually quite a good entertainment. Especially if you like a game that you play. And showing that experience with the other players might be even more fun. So my leopard getting pummeled here. Not good. Time to save him.
Destroyed.
For some reason they just refuse to focus down my flagellant.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
Yeah, but this fight is pretty much almost over, which is good. We just need a little bit more.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I'd like to heal this, all that stuff that we've accumulated, all the stress and HP that we lost. Huh? Well,
From the comet's maddening light. For now.
okay.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
Interesting. So they are throwing you into a different place, much like with teleports during the... Much like with teleports during the Darkest Dungeon second, I believe, either second or third level where you were teleported.
in time and space.
Well... Interesting, huh? So we are not only going to face those enemies here, but rather we are going to be facing different kinds. Even monsters from the original campaign are here. Yeah, the background, the music, everything is so nice. We have to find opportunity for us to stress heal though. Wait, when did they apply Mark on him? Or is it Mark from the previous battle?
Inspiration and improvement.
I definitely need to waste at least one turn for stress heal. Oh, wait a second. This also fills up the bar, so the next wave of enemies is going to come. I should have not taken this item though. Minus healing. That minus healing just not good. Oh boy. Well, those are quite the enemies that they've thrown at us. Not gonna lie. At least the mark falling down, so that now they will use this attack instead.
A decisive pummeling.
However, I should try to get rid of the ghoul so that I will not get attacked by his howling ability. Let me see, I can stun him. Yes. Let's see, like 2 more waves of enemies probably is going to fly at us.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. consumes the mind.
The thing that I really didn't expect it is them to throw at me enemies from
The slow
different
death,
dungeons.
unforeseen, unforgiving. The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
The stress is at okay rating. Missed. Another howl.
Gnawing uncertainty, the birthplace of dread.
Well, those who got double howled will going to most certainly drink a bottle. Those are not necessarily tough encounters, but as soon as I'll get to... As soon as I'll get into like, if there will be a champion level difficulty, and I will get bombarded by enemies from those dungeons, oh boy, this is going to be not pleasant at all, because their enemies are very beefy and capable of doing some good damage.
Annihilated. Corrupted curiosities, begging for examination.
They don't even give me a chance to camp. I mean, we need one more to go, and then probably Miller boss fight.
Reality regained.
Oh, again. We are again fighting against those enemies. Well, at least now we regained our HP. Also, I probably should have given Leper withstand ability. Yeah. I probably should have.
Precision and power.
Then I would be able to receive less damage and be extra protective against... Also, the music changed again. Well, those aren't that bad of an enemies. And with Blight working here like a charm, that's actually even better. And we can again stun the horse. Yay! Yeah, I'm starting to slowly understand it. Should I give my Leopard the protection ability? He will be able to receive less damage, which is actually quite good.
Quickens. The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Because then I would have to worry less about getting blighted or bleeded. Like, especially because I have to... Okay, Sleeper's Herald. Has protection, 45, good resist against everything, but low HP. My guess is that I should try to get rid of it. Yeah. Let's not toy with the things that we don't know how they work. And once again, I can stun targets here. This is why I am most certainly going to go for those stuns with the healer. Enemies here, as far as I can see, they don't do much like direct damage, but they can drown you in stress, in all that stuff. And yes, the music here and all that stuff is really good.
Sedated.
It's like whole new level. Yeah, for the third battle they decided to place not that tough of an enemies. I'm gonna stress heal a bit. I don't want to run into a boss fight with... Something tells me that after this battle they will give me another like room with an item, and then I would have to fight a boss. And I don't want to get to a boss fight with huge stress.
A time to perform beyond one's limits.
The less stress I'll have, the better it will be. And that's another new attack, which just does stress, but for the backline. Now, double horse is not good, so... At least they aren't that tough when it comes to HP and just in general not that beefy of an enemies.
Surgical precision.
Great. almost out of stress. Yeah, it's just a stress attack. Well, not bad at all. Battles aren't that tough, and for the most part, it's actually good that they aren't like super cheesy or difficult. They're interesting. I can see synergy between the enemies.
Has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
And again, I am taken away by this crystal.
At last, some sheltered corner of reality.
The fireplace is slowly coming apart, but looks functional. Oh, so this may probably be the place where we campfire. Yes.
Together, furtive and
Well, that's good. It's like before the battle, they will give us a chance to campfire. And I wonder, I'll try it to not use a night ambush prevention thing. Yes. It's so good that they gave us campfire. So now we have good stuff, but I also want to... I also want to get a withstand. And since there will be a boss, how about we pop up holy water? Oh, hello.
toil, an eternity of suffering.
Two things this DLC already reminds me of. One thing. Two games. Bloodborne and Grim Dawn. It reminds me of both of those games. At the same time. Of Grim Dawn, because it's like an ethereals here. Thematically it looks like it, and Bloodborne because this Miller looks like that boss, also with the scythe in his hand. Oh, he is resistant towards bleed. what does it do? Guard skills disabled. And he is guarded by it. Ah. It takes quite a lot of time to kill it, actually.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden. How quickly the tide turns.
And how more of these things can he actually summon? Something tells me I have to somehow try to kill him. Okay, so we got triple buff here. There is no way I'm going to pass through his... But I am going to do damage against him, that's good. Hopefully he won't gonna resummon those guys of his. My flagellant is getting bombarded here. Let's just try to focus him down.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Ow. Seems like I do still have to kill those enemies.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And because if I won't, this is going to become a problem. Oh. Not you again.
Grievous injury.
And they start to crit.
Fear.
Resisted. Resisted against everything.
A momentary abasement.
Man, that's even worse. Ah. And now he'll resummon someone? No. Man, he does so much damage. I just have to try and wither him down. He's almost dead. But almost is never enough.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And should I've known... I should have brought... With Jester, I should have given him ability to... finale skill. It's just that this guy is resistant towards... Yeah, one more attack, please. Yes. And you fall. Yay! Yay.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Even though I brought the composition that is, once again, not really good. 220 resist to bleed. Damn it. So much bleed resist. But yay, we did it. We beat the Miller.
I can still see their angry faces as they stormed the manor. But I was dead before they found me. And the letter was on its way.
Recruit Shard mercenaries. A select few champion heroes have come to answer the strange call of the comet. They hunger for the spoils of this otherworldly vessel, and can only be used for the Endless Harvest quest in the Farmstead. They can be found by Stagecoach. New recruits, new type of them. Interesting. The Endless Harvest begins. When the Miller defeated the Farmstead's lips even further beyond time and space. Assemble a party and face whatever strangeness awaits in the Endless Harvest. Defeat as many foes as many enemies as you can. mean, it sounds like a gauntlet to me. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I did. My bad. What the? Level 6s? And what is exactly different about them? Except for the fact that Shard Mercenary. 10% shard loot taken. Hero will only undertake endless harvest quest. Does not take up a roster spot. Maximum amount 6. Yeah, but I have to pay for them? But they're pretty much just leveled up level 6's characters, aren't they? And let's say if I put one here.
You will be laughing still at the end.
Well, I of course not gonna pick up an antiquarian.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
I don't know if maybe they do like bonus damage against enemies there, maybe not. Well, anyway, it's a new mechanic that I don't yet understand now. However, I do understand that our next goal here is to go towards this endless dungeon. The unceasing labor of combat will separate the wheat from the chaff. Defeat as many enemies as you can. And you know, we can actually go there with our level 6 squadron. The thing that I am afraid, however, is I'm not necessarily afraid, though. I'm gonna bring this healer, this jester. And it does seem like Leper is good there. Maybe even Helion. I don't know about double shield breaker though. Because what if they throw at us enemies that will have resist towards blight? Let's put a leper. But then again, I brought Flagellant for the purposes of stress heal, so having him there is going to be better. Yeah, let's try the same strategy, but with higher level characters. And let's compare also the trinkets. Minus stress, plus... Nah. I'm going to use this thing again, because I want to hit with those. I don't want to bring this mask, that's for sure. And instead of that, I would actually, given the situation that we will have to beat up those kinds of enemies, yeah, this setup would be better. And since we've thrown those there, let us... remove some negative quirks from those guys. And embark for an endless dungeon. And actually, come to think of it, we don't need shovels now, do we? We didn't found any place where we need shovels. Okay. Let's try it out.
The poor miller. Thrice a victim. The seasons took his livelihood. I took his land. And now, uncountable years later, the comet has taken his humanity. My only regret is that I did not live to see that shoddy mill smashed to pieces by the miraculous bounty I reaped from beyond the void.
That narrator, he's such a nice guy. Like, he is not by any chance having to do with all that crazy stuff that's happening all around. Also, I like the art that they've used here. Those crystals, and then those crystals are some kind of faces. The miller, his wife, and his workforce trapped forever in a fragmented shard of reality. Okay, I gave him protection, which is good. Reward small, reward small. What is this? Moon and some skull? And we have some fights to deal with. Plan for my for Jester is going to be buffing, while Leper, I'm gonna cast guard. This thing I don't really know. Probably not. I'm gonna try to not pick it up. I wanna cast guard like straight away, so that he is going to be way more defended. And yeah, they are starting to have more resistances. Although I would like to get rid of the shard. Of course. The reason why I want to get rid of the shard is because it does a lot of stress.
Press this advantage.
Okay, now I can stun another guy and buff protection. So per one kill I get one moon? Sort of? Ow. Well, at least now we will be able to heal him properly.
Eradicated.
Nice. How nice of them to just throw stress and blight simultaneously.
Soothed. Sedated.
Oh, do not resist against it.
Annihilated.
Either stop throwing that on Jester, or could you, like, start dodging?
A powerful blow.
It does seem like I would have to stun, because those annoying enemies are stressing out our poor Jester.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Yeah, because they are applying Blight 4 damage per 3 turns, it is actually going to be better to get rid of the guy who got buffed with this buff. Either that, or I'll just try to stun him. Yeah.
Obliterated. How quickly the tide turns. Well struck. Back to the pit.
Yeah, without stress dealers, it seems like quite an impossible task to beat this those amounts of battles. Even with 3 stress healers, it seems tough.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I also would like to see what's the difference between, you know, those those characters that have these crystals on them and those who do not.
Inspiration and improvement.
I think we do not need to kill them all. Yeah, because the bar will fill up faster than we'll get rid of them.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden. Unnerved, unbalanced.
Also, the thing that they crit so much. And that's a new attack.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Man, Leper. Do you, like, hit the target? Yeah, everyone is stressed out.
Battle behind, battle ahead. But for a moment, peace.
Interesting. Like, encounters are interesting and they are actually quite tough. That was a stress removal? Okay. I was thinking about giving him the damage buff as well.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Wait, I can't use it again? Great. So then the decision making is even
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
is even tougher.
The blood quickens. Masterfully executed.
Since they don't neither transfer that buff into the next fight, nor can you actually use it. That's quite bad. But that's what happens when you aren't using like guides and that stuff, and you just have to rely on your own test. Either it will work or it will not. That kind of deal.
Decimated.
They stress you here. Holy cow, it's almost the same level of stress dealing like in the Darkest Dungeon itself. Almost the same, I gotta tell you.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I mean, it's still manageable. It has 90% stun resist.
Destroyed.
Generally speaking, I would have to find out a team here that will work best here. I don't know, this team... I wouldn't say it's bad.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
It's just dealing with stresses. And also this thing now. Mate, you have to dodge. You have 65 dodge chance. And even Leper with 20 dodge chance is dodging more than I have to fix the rotation here.
A dizzying blow to
You are kidding me, right?
the blood pumps, the limbs obey.
Annoying.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Great.
Gnawing uncertainty, the birthplace of dread.
Just because I can't fix my rotation.
A singular strike.
Either go for a stun or for a heal. Let's do stun. Shoot. He wants to do it again. Five HP per what? I hate now I know that horse is a must-kill target.
Monster's size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
I will not gonna be able to kill 3 seeds. I will kill only one. And that's so bad.
Executed with impunity. Festering fear consumes the mind.
So it can either AoE explode or single target explode? We really have to do something about that stress. But we are running out of buff. This whole stress thing... I wouldn't say that bad. And we got mostly decimated by that horse.
vision. The end approaches.
Ow.
A place of refuge, if only for a fleeting moment.
Ridiculous. Okay, let's move on.
You tread beyond the reach of reality.
Damage versus marked debuff skill chance. And they again changed music and background.
Devastating blow.
Here we should actually be able to somehow manage the stress. Ah, damn it.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
Unfortunately, I cannot get to Ghoul. But I can still stun them. Okay, let's drop that stress meter down. Yeah, Leper won't do much damage against those fungals enemies because they have 60% protection. Where did you get that? You never had that.
The ground quakes.
I'm gonna take it slow, but be able to reduce stress.
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
Immediately punished. Let's try to go for a ghoul because he will melt us in stress if we will not do anything about it. It does seem like the possibility of you getting out of... Wait a second. Ghouls have... Oh, but wait. I don't remember ghouls having 40 protection. They didn't. Maggots didn't have any protection at all on them as well, so...
But never hidden.
That's a new stuff.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Okay, Ghoul will go down.
Their cursed champion falls.
Now pretty much all that is left standing here is this fungus guy.
Momentary abatement.
But I'd rather take my time and do something about all that stress. Now, dogs and maggots, neither one of those enemies had protection.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
But hey, at least we are getting somewhere. Oh no, there won't be a stress check for you. I think this is the last wave of enemies. A moment where we can actually try to self-stress heal. But before we'll kill the old hack so that she will not gonna stress us out. And they just port it out.
A closer look, perhaps?
Keepsake, Mildred's Locket, Miller, the Reaping, minus 100% damage taken, plus 40%, Light Resist, 3 speed, and 40% damage versus Miller. Interesting that they give this thing to us now, especially damage versus Miller, when we already killed Miller. Or they want to say that we are going to have to face up against Miller again. I don't even know. Let's proceed a little bit further.
Anchored on solid ground once more. Precision and power.
Now I am going to focus this horse. I know how threatening the invisibility and then its attack going to be. We can't... It outspeeds my leper, which means I cannot kill it fast enough.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Maybe now we can actually do some stress heal.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Oh, so if I kill everyone, they're just gonna summon everyone back. Wow. Also, those new abilities that they have, like regeneration over time, is also a new thing that they added. You will not gonna see this ability anywhere else outside of this DLC. Well, except for Sunken Crew. Yeah. Except for that boss battle. Actually, should we proceed with caution? We might be capable of reducing all that stress that we got. Now for some reason they want And I have to get rid of this thing. It does AoE stress. As well, like, if it's not crit, and if it's not AoE stress, fine.
Soothed. Sedated.
But this DLC, for the most part, it's more about testing how well you are capable with stress management as well as targeting specific enemies. And it's difficult. Campfire, yes.
Maddening light. For now.
A campfire is good. And we have campfire skills that we need, right? Yeah. Let's camp.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight, an uneasy companion.
This in return will allow us to push even further beyond. I'd go for this thing. We have to reduce the stress that we will accumulate by a whole lot. We have 3 more. We can even go for this buff. Yeah. The rest of the stress is going to be healed up, hopefully. Now it's ruins.
Lost in time and space.
Bleed skill chance and healing spells, huh? Okay.
Exposed to a killing blow.
And every time the music changes. I have to go for more buffs here. Maybe try to get another stun. Yes. I don't see crits. No, it's not ruins, it's... Oh no, it's this dungeon. Ah, warrants. my quote-unquote beloved dungeon.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Okay, AoE stress dealer is gone. Nice. Another one is left. If they were gonna bring those pigs with spears, this is not going to be lively at all. Spiders. All spiders are... Well, I'm not going to say good or bad. Especially if they spit with a crit. Then you're not going to like it at all. But yeah, that campfire buff is now rock and rolling, see, and stress is going down. And that's exactly what I want.
Grievous injury, palpable fear.
Yay. Almost out of stress. Almost. Yay, it's actually a very different very different DLC, and that provides you with some interesting challenges that were never before seen.
Rejoice at the familiar sight of mud, rain, and ruin.
Oh, that guy I definitely didn't want to see, but oh boy. Champion level Miller. Well, at least I killed the farmer so that he'll not gonna be able to guard himself. Wait, now he summons two. Oof. Anti-regener... Wow, that's bad. Ew.
Fatality clarified in a single strike. Soothed. Sedated.
Ow. That was so much damage. Way too much for my own liking.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
And he heals himself and buffs protection and he takes some stress away. If I understood it correctly. But man, he just decimates our line. Yeah, I can see that could work, especially with the point-blank shots and just moving back and forth. They will just going to reshuffle themselves again and again. I mean, this can work really good. Because it does seem like relying just on one source is not going to help us a lot. Okay. It most definitely helps to have a very high crit, thus, and especially considering the fact that crits do more damage against even protected enemies. And here it does feel like the faster you kill enemies, the easier your life is going to actually begin.